Hi, I'm Ayan,
And I'm Sid.
and you're watching Evika.
Fun fact, did you guys know that Mahindra did not originally start out as a car brand? In 1945, it actually started out as a steel trading company, which later moved on to become a car manufacturer.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Mahindra Scorpio. It's got a completely new redesign after a very long time. It's also got an updated chassis as well as an updated body. As we observed with the previous generation Mahindra Scorpio, it wasn't that stable on the road. And when you reach the triple digits, it was pretty top heavy. And so with this new Scorpio, they've managed to fix that. We've seen this car undergo testing over the past few years, but now we have spy shots of the exterior and the interior of a car, which gives us a lot more clearer picture of the car. It's going to share a lot of things with the new XUV 700. That includes the 2-liter petrol, the 2.2-liter diesel, and some components like the gear lever and the steering wheel. This car will also be sold alongside the current Scorpio.
Talking about the exterior of the car, there are a lot of new changes that have been brought to the newer generation model of the Scorpio. The Scorpio gets the new Mahindra logo with a bold new grille with subtle use of chrome so that it's not too in your face. It gets new projector LED lights. The LEDs are expected to be in the higher trim models, but expect projectors from the base model. It gets a big front skid plate which will help it while off-roading because this car is a lifestyle vehicle, which means it can be used for off-roading as well as city use. Anybody can recognize the way a Scorpio looks just by looking at its silhouette because of its traditional boxy design, which is retained in the new Mahindra Scorpio. Expect it to get the same muscular butch boxy look of the SUV, which is common in the segment, for example the Mahindra Thar, but it will definitely look like a Scorpio. From the spy shots we've seen, it is visible that the tail lamps look strikingly similar to the Mahindra Xylo. Although unlike the Xylo, this should get an all LED setup, preferably from the base model, but let's see what Mahindra goes for. It is also set to get brand new alloy wheel designs, which in our opinion look really good. These are from the pictures that Mahindra themselves have released. Expect the size to be around 16 to 17 inches. From the pictures that Mahindra has released and also the spy shots that we have received, it is very evident that it is a very butch, muscular looking car, which is needed for the Scorpio name.
One of the major updates coming to the interior is either a 7-seat layout or an 8-seat layout. We've also seen some spy shots of the Scorpio with opposite facing seats at the end of the car. The interior design has also been completely revamped. We have a brand new touchscreen in the middle and also AC vents on either side of the touchscreen. Through the interior shots that we can see that there's a physical scroll wheel for the volume, which is great because now automakers are moving towards the touchscreen volumes and we're not a big fan of it. If we move further down, we can see USB ports as well as a 12-volt socket, which is very helpful. As mentioned previously, a lot of parts are shared with the XUV 700, things like the steering wheel and the gear lever, so expect other parts to also be shared with the XUV 700.
Now let's talk about the engine. Definitely expect the car to get an all-wheel drive system, but Mahindra is likely to reserve that only for the top spec variants, which in our opinion is really something that Mahindra should not do. We think Mahindra or any manufacturer for that matter should include the 4x4 or the all-wheel drive system right from the base variant, but let's see what Mahindra goes for.
Also, just a reminder, if you are enjoying this video, please do consider subscribing. It really helps us out a lot. Now, coming to the release date of the car. It's expected to release on the 27th of June. In terms of what we think of the car, we're huge fans of the car. It's so much so that Sid would actually consider buying one as well. The improvements on this car are huge and really compel new buyers to consider this car over the other competitors. Since the car looks very bold and really muscular in front, it really resembles the Mahindra Bolero as well as the Bolero Neo, which is not a bad thing in my opinion.
One thing to notice is that from all the test mules and the spy shots that we saw, we didn't notice any of the self-driving or the ADAS sensors that come with the XUV 700. We didn't see any of those sensors in front or the back of the car. So we don't think Mahindra will include the ADAS features with the Scorpio. The ADAS will be one of the defining features that will set the XUV 700 apart from the Scorpio.
With that, we come to the EC score. The EC score for this car is
8 out of 10. So now there are multiple reasons why we give it an 8 out of 10. It is a very strong car in its sense. It has a lot of appealing features which will be attractive to new as well as existing customers. Features like a nice big infotainment system are definitely welcome features in a car like this. I think we can all agree that we're all bored of looking at the same Creta, Seltos and the existing Scorpio on the road. The introduction of the new Scorpio should definitely refresh that because it gets all new styling on the exterior and the interior. It should definitely be appealing to the younger and the older audience. Some of the reasons why we reduced the EC score to 8 out of 10. The first being exclusion of the ADAS system in the Scorpio. The XUV700 has offered the ADAS system which people are becoming a fan of and will expect in the Scorpio, but we don't think Mahindra will include it. Another reason why we reduce the EC score is this is not an appeal just to Mahindra, but to a lot of manufacturers that sell their SUVs in India. If you are going to offer a 4x4 system or an all-wheel drive system in your car, please do so from the base model itself. Please give the customers and the audience an option to opt for the 4x4 system just from the base model, because a lot of times it may throw the customer off because the highest spec models or the top spec models in which you offer your 4x4 systems are too expensive for people to afford. So two reasons. One was the ADAS, second was the 4x4 system. If you could improve that, if you could nail that, that'll be great. From the test mules and the spy shots that we saw, we did notice that the base model of the cars were having rear facing seats which were opposite to each other. This is not particularly something that me or Ayan want or a lot of the customers want, but it is what Mahindra is going for. It may be just a production or it may be just a trial run, but let's see what happens.
We have realized that we've been a bit absent for a while, and that's just because of our studies, but now that's over, so we're back and we're gonna try uploading as much as we can.
We are very excited to be back and we do hope that we can upload more regularly than before.
Please do like the video. Thank you so much for all the support you've been showing.
Click here to subscribe to the channel. Click here to follow us on Instagram. So that's it from our side. Peace.
Goodbye.